Chosen one. Pause right here. Heaven is interrupting your moment because something unseen is unfolding around you. This message did not appear by chance. It was released because Wednesday holds a divine test, and the outcome will determine what doors open for you next. You have been feeling the tension in your spirit, haven't you? The sudden pressure, the unusual silence, the strange restlessness that seems to come from nowhere. That is not coincidence, it is confirmation. Heaven is sounding an alarm. While the world moves carelessly, you have been awakened for a reason. The path ahead is not meant to destroy you, but to reveal you. What you face on Wednesday is not punishment, it is a divine evaluation. The final proof of your endurance and obedience. The danger that approaches is not physical, but spiritual. It moves in conversations, in sudden distractions, in emotional triggers. You must discern it, because the unseen war is far louder in heaven than the noise of this world. It was declared in the second book of Samuel, chapter 22, verse 31. As for God, His way is perfect. The word of the Lord is proven. He is a shield to all who take refuge in Him. Let that truth sink into your soul. God's way is perfect, even when it feels painful. The storm that approaches has already been filtered through His protection. Nothing that comes against you on Wednesday is capable of destroying you. It can only expose what is unshakable within you. Every chosen one must face a day like this, a moment when heaven says, "Now show me what you've learned." Oh, you have carried pain that others would have broken under. You've endured the weight of silence, the confusion of unanswered prayers, the sting of betrayal. Yet here you stand still, seeking, still fighting, still believing. That endurance was not wasted. It forged the spiritual armor you will need for what's coming. Listen carefully. The test will not look like a test. It may arrive through a phone call, a misunderstanding, a temptation to react. But the danger lies not in the event itself. It lies in how you respond. Heaven will be watching, not what happens to you, but what happens in you. The real exam is your reaction. Will you choose peace when chaos knocks? Will you stay silent when provoked? Will you trust even when clarity is absent? That is the battle line drawn for Wednesday. Do not be deceived by the familiar. Darkness often hides behind familiar faces and comfortable habits. The same voice that once comforted you may now be used to challenge your conviction. Guard your emotions. They are the gateway to your spirit. The enemy cannot destroy what God has anointed. So he will try to distract what God has called. If he can make you react in the flesh, he can pull you out of your divine flow. But you are wiser now. You have learned the art of stillness. You have discovered the power of saying nothing while heaven fights for you. So when the pressure comes, breathe deeply and remember, peace is not weakness, it's warfare. The calm within you terrifies hell more than your loudest prayer. Chosen one. This week is not a coincidence, it is a divine setup. Heaven is preparing to reveal your strength in a place where others predicted your fall. Do not give your energy to fear. You are surrounded by divine witnesses who cheer every act of obedience. The very test that feels like an attack will become your elevation. So lift your head, steady your spirit, and prepare. You are entering a divine proving ground, and the outcome will write your next chapter. When the storm rises, stand still. When accusations come, say less. When doubt whispers, worship louder. Wednesday will not destroy you, It will define you. If this word resonates within you, let heaven know you receive it. Like this message, share it, so another chosen one may be warned in time. And comment your prophetic number below as a sign that you are standing in faith. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next message from heaven's timeline, because what comes after Wednesday will reveal who truly passed the test. Stand firm. Chosen one, the storm may roar, but your spirit is anchored. Heaven records your obedience, and what was meant to break you will bless you instead. The test reveals the truth. You were never fragile, only hidden. After Wednesday, your light will blaze brighter, proof that endurance is the mark of the chosen. You start to feel it, the whisper that crawls beneath your thoughts, the quiet voice that questions everything you once believed. It doesn't shout, it suggests. It doesn't confront, it convinces. This is how the enemy begins his work, through whispers that disguise themselves as reason. You don't see him coming, because he doesn't need to appear. All he needs is access to your mind. We find in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 5, we demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. Every battle that will ever matter begins inside your thoughts. Long before a fall, there is a whisper. Long before disobedience, there is a doubt. The enemy rarely steals what you guard. He steals what you question. He begins with small sentences. Maybe it's not that serious. Maybe God forgot. Maybe you misheard. The danger of Wednesday lies not in what happens outside you, but what begins to echo inside. This is why heaven sent a warning, because your mind is sacred territory. If you lose it, you lose direction. The war on Wednesday will not come with swords, but with suggestions. The darkness will disguise itself as logic. It will sound mature, rational, even comforting. It will say, "You deserve a break." It will tell you to compromise. Just this once. But deep within, the Spirit will whisper, "Don't." This inner clash is the whisper of the enemy meeting the whisper of heaven. You will feel both, and the test will be your choice. Heaven will not shout, it will wait, because true maturity is not in hearing God's voice, but in obeying when He is silent. You felt this before the tug of war inside your heart. Every time you stood on the edge of decision, you sensed two currents pulling in opposite directions. That is the battlefield no one sees. You smile on the outside, but inside, thoughts collide like storms. You wonder if you're losing your faith. But in truth, the conflict is proof of your calling. The unchosen never wrestle, only those with destiny do. So, what do you do when your thoughts betray you? You take them captive. You don't let every emotion become truth. You measure each idea by light. You test every voice by peace. Not every feeling deserves a response. Not every thought deserves to stay. Some must be cast down the moment they arise, before they build altars inside your mind. Because if the enemy can't reach your destiny, he will try to rewrite your perception of it. He will convince you that you're too tired, too late, too unworthy. He will make you doubt what heaven already approved. That is why Scripture calls you to take every thought captive, to chain it to truth, to command it to bow before Christ. Chosen one, learn to recognize when the whisper doesn't sound like God. The voice of the enemy is urgent, fearful, full of accusation. The voice of God is steady, calm, and secure. One pushes you into haste, the other invites you into peace. The more you know the difference, the stronger your discernment grows. As Wednesday approaches, your greatest defense will not be force, it will be focus. Stay anchored in truth. Speak to your thoughts before they speak to you. Remind your mind that it is not the master, but the servant of your spirit. This is how you win the invisible war. Remember what has already been proven. You are not weak for feeling weary. You are wise for still standing. The whispers may come, but they cannot overpower a heart that has decided to trust. So, when confusion rises, breathe and declare inwardly, "My thoughts serve Christ," not fear. End of 4. And then silence will follow. Not the silence of defeat, but the stillness of victory. Because when your mind submits to truth, every lie loses power. The battlefield becomes quiet. You begin to see clearly again, realizing that the danger was never around you. It was always the suggestion that lived within. Guard your mind. Chosen one. That is where heaven speaks. And that is what hell covets most. The silence after victory is sacred. In that stillness, heaven rewrites your thoughts, replacing every doubt with purpose. You realize clarity isn't found in noise, but in surrender. Each whisper you resisted becomes proof of strength. You now understand that warfare was never about survival. It was about mastery over your own mind. Your sacred battlefield. Now peace surrounds you like armor. The same voice that once trembled now commands authority. You no longer chase calm, you carry it. Your thoughts obey heaven's rhythm. The weight you've been carrying is not ordinary. It is evidence that you were designed for something greater than comfort. Every tear, every delay, every sleepless night has been part of a divine training ground. What others called punishment was actually preparation. Heaven has been molding you quietly in the background while the world watched nothing happen. But something was happening. Your faith was being fortified for the coming test. You have wondered why life felt heavier this season. Why you could no longer fit where you once belonged. Why peace seemed harder to find. Even though you prayed harder than ever, the truth is simple. You've outgrown the level you were surviving on. The discomfort you feel is not abandonment, it is transformation. You are shedding an old layer of identity to carry a greater measure of light. God often hides his strongest soldiers in seasons of silence. You looked at your struggle and saw failure. Heaven looked at it and saw refinement. You thought you were being buried, but you were being planted. What broke you was actually rooting you deeper in purpose. You carry weight because you carry worth. The oil of your anointing is produced through pressure. Without the crushing, there is no fragrance. Without the breaking, there is no revealing. You asked heaven to use you. This is what it looks like when heaven says yes. And the writings of David remind us in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. And that verse is not poetry, it's prophecy. The righteous are not spared from battles, they are delivered through them. You have been kept, not because life was easy, but because your endurance was necessary for what's ahead. Every time you wanted to quit, but didn't, a gate opened in the spirit realm that you could not yet see. The heaviness you feel tonight is not random. It is the echo of your next elevation. Heaven is measuring how you carry weight before increasing it. You are not being punished, you are being trusted. When you said, "Lord, I'll go wherever you send me," heaven began preparing your shoulders to bear more responsibility. And that preparation often looks like loneliness, misunderstanding, and unseen warfare. But here is the mystery. What feels like isolation is actually insulation. Heaven removes noise so that you can hear clarity. Every closed door was divine protection. Every delayed opportunity was redirection. The wilderness did not break you. It stripped away what could not go with you into the next season. You will soon understand why certain people left, why prayers were answered with silence, and why battles lasted longer than expected. The weight you carry is proof that you were chosen for assignments that require strength beyond human understanding. And when the moment of testing comes, your endurance will speak louder than your words. Now, type this declaration in the comments. I still stand. Why? Because it is more than a phrase. It's a prophetic statement. When you write it, you testify that the weight did not win. You announce to heaven and hell alike that the pressure refined you, but did not destroy you. You declare that, despite the confusion, your feet remain planted in faith. Heaven records those who refuse to bow to weariness. You are still standing because grace refused to let you fall. You are still standing because purpose needed you alive for this very message. The final test is near, but so is your promotion. The weight you carry today is the confirmation of tomorrow's crown. So, lift your eyes, steady your breath, and remember, what feels heavy now will one day feel holy. The burden that once broke you will soon bless others through you. And when Wednesday comes, you will recognize that every moment of pain was divine preparation for power. The phrase, "I still stand," is not just a comment, it is a declaration to the unseen realm. Every time you write it, you affirm that storms may have shaken you, but they never uprooted you. It is your spiritual fingerprint, proof that grace carried you where strength could not. By declaring it, you shift your focus from survival to victory. You remind your soul that endurance itself is worship, that standing firm in silence is as powerful as shouting in triumph. You become the living evidence that faith still conquers fear. And when heaven reads those 3 words written from your heart, it responds. Strength begins to rise again. Peace returns to your thoughts. And angels mark your perseverance as testimony. You are not barely surviving, you are quietly winning. There are moments when darkness does not come with claws or storms, but with familiar faces and gentle tones. The danger of this season lies not in obvious enemies, but in the people who sound safe. The voices that once brought comfort, but now carry confusion. This is the subtle mask the enemy wears. When he cannot confront you directly, he steps closer through those you love. Through advice that sounds reasonable, through conversations that feel innocent, you will begin to notice it words that slightly twist what God told you. Suggestions that plant doubt in your obedience. They will not say, "Disobey God." They will say, "Are you sure you heard right?" And suddenly the clarity you once carried begins to blur. This is how the test comes. It rarely comes as open rebellion. It comes as a whisper wrapped in concern. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 17, verse 5. Cursed is the one who trusts in man, who draws strength from mere flesh, and whose heart turns away from the Lord. This is not a call to isolate from people. It is a warning to discern whose voice you give weight to. Every chosen one must reach the point where human approval loses its hold. If your peace depends on others' agreement, your obedience will always be fragile. Heaven is calling you to a higher loyalty. When God gives an instruction, He expects you to guard it, not debate it. Some of the voices in your life are not evil, just unaligned. They speak from their understanding, not from revelation. They love you, but they don't see what you see. They don't hear what heaven whispers to you in the quiet. When they advise you to compromise, they're not trying to destroy you. They're trying to protect you from a risk they can't comprehend. But what they call risk, heaven calls obedience. What they call reckless, heaven calls faith. You cannot expect those living by sight to understand those walking by spirit. That is why this part of your journey feels lonely. It is not that you are misunderstood, it is that you are walking a path designed for one pair of feet, yours. Even Jesus experienced this. When He told His disciples about the cross, Peter tried to stop Him, speaking words of concern, yet driven by fear. And Jesus turned to him and said, "Get behind me, Satan." He wasn't rebuking Peter's love, he was confronting the voice behind it. In that moment, Jesus showed us that discernment requires separating affection from alignment. You will need that same clarity. Now, not every familiar voice can go with you into this next stage. Some will try to pull you back to comfort because they cannot see your calling. You cannot explain destiny to those who are content with routine. The test of Wednesday may appear through conversation, someone questioning your direction, tempting you to delay obedience, suggesting that waiting longer will make things safer. But heaven is measuring how much you trust its timing above human reasoning. The hardest obedience is not walking away from enemies, it's walking away from those who mean well but lack revelation. When you start choosing purpose over popularity, you will notice silence around you. Let it not trouble you. Isolation in obedience is temporary. Exaltation in God's timing is permanent. So, guard your ears. Guard the instruction that God placed in your spirit. Protect it like treasure. Do not let the tone of familiarity dilute divine direction. Remember that disobedience never begins as rebellion. It begins as conversation. You are not being asked to reject people. You are being asked to recognize influence. This test will not measure how loved you are, but how loyal you are to the voice of heaven. And once you pass it, peace will return stronger than before. Because your faith will no longer lean on agreement, it will rest on conviction. You have been entrusted with revelation that others cannot see yet. Carry it quietly. Walk it faithfully. And let time prove what truth spoke. The same people who doubted will one day witness the fruit of your obedience. And when that day comes, you will know that the mask of familiar voices was never the threat, it was the lesson. The mask will always fall in time. When it does, you'll see that every disguised voice served a purpose to sharpen your discernment and strengthen your trust in the unseen wisdom guiding your path. Nothing was wasted, and as silence replaces confusion, peace will rise again. You'll walk lighter, seeing faces differently, not with suspicion, but with wisdom. You'll thank God not just for revelation, but for teaching you to recognize His voice above every other. There are moments when heaven leans close and whispers, "Prepare now." This is one of them. Something in the atmosphere has shifted. You can feel it like the stillness before rain, like the pause of the ocean before a powerful wave returns. Wednesday is drawing near, and with it, a divine crossing. This is not a moment for panic. It is a call to readiness. Heaven is not warning you to scare you. It is preparing you so that nothing catches you off guard. There is a rhythm to divine timing, and when that rhythm accelerates, those who are sensitive to the Spirit begin to feel a gentle pressure inside. It is not fear, it is invitation. You, chosen one, are standing at a threshold, and thresholds always require both faith and preparation. Heaven is not only asking you to believe, but to build, to strengthen the structure of your heart, your habits, and your spiritual focus. Because when blessing arrives, it needs a foundation strong enough to hold it. As written in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 35, be dressed ready for service and keep your lamps burning. That is the call for this hour. Keep your lamp burning. Feed your flame with prayer, with stillness, with truth. Do not let fatigue dim your focus. Now, the night is almost over. The test will come, but so will revelation. You've walked through seasons where it felt like heaven was silent, where every door seemed locked. But look around you now, things are aligning. The same situations that once broke you are now shaping your authority. The same storms that once terrified you have taught you how to command peace. That's growth. That's maturity. Heaven has been preparing you for the assignment that unfolds after Wednesday. And while you listen to this, take a moment to breathe. Let the noise fade. Because this message is not just a warning, it's also a hand reaching out, saying, you're not alone in this. Every word you hear here, every story, every revelation, is part of a living stream flowing from heaven's heart to yours. This is a space built for souls like yours, those who are tired, faithful, misunderstood, but still standing. If this message has been a light to you, let that light keep traveling. Tap like and share it the way one torch passes flame to another in the dark, spreading warmth where cold once ruled. Subscribe so you never miss what heaven releases next. Each word builds on the last, forming a staircase of truth that lifts you higher, step by step. And if your heart ever feels stirred to do more, to sow, to give, to donate, treat it as a gentle ripple, joining the river. Each act of generosity is like dropping a seed into living water. It flows outward, unseen, yet nourishes countless shores. What you release does not vanish, it multiplies, touching lives you'll never meet. Think of it this way: when you give, you're adding another log to the fire that keeps this beacon burning through the night. You are not paying for light, you are feeding it. The glow that once reached, you can now reach someone else, still wandering in shadow. And if all you can give is prayer, then pray deeply. Your faith becomes the wind that carries this flame farther. Together, all of us listeners, intercessors, givers become a constellation of lights stretching across the earth. So, as you prepare for what's coming, let your support, your like, your share, your prayer, your gift be your way of whispering back to heaven, I believe in the light. Because this message isn't mine alone, it belongs to every heart it reaches, every ear that listens, every spirit that awakens. Stay close. Keep your lamp burning, for when Wednesday dawns, heaven will look upon those whose lamps still glow and whisper, they were ready. End of 2. Every flame you help sustain becomes part of a greater fire that cannot be quenched. Together, our small sparks merge into something vast, an endless horizon of light defying darkness. Somewhere, someone is about to give up, and the glow you helped keep alive will reach them just in time. That is how heaven multiplies hope, quietly. Through willing hearts, your part may seem small, but heaven counts differently. Even a whisper, even a prayer, even one act of kindness can shift an entire atmosphere. Nothing done in light is ever lost. And when heaven looks down and sees the fire still burning, it smiles, because it knows the chosen ones have not only endured, they have learned how to ignite the world. There are moments when heaven chooses the simplest signs to carry the deepest truths. After every storm, after every unanswered prayer, something gentle begins to follow you, an image, a phrase, or a number that refuses to leave. It is quiet, yet constant, appearing everywhere you go, as though the universe itself is whispering your name. That number is not coincidence, it is a covenant. You have been seeing it 222. It shows up on clocks, receipts, phone screens, license plates. At the very moment, your spirit feels torn between faith and fatigue, and every time it appears, a strange peace settles over you. That is not your imagination, that is heaven confirming alignment. We find in the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 16, when the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind on the earth. In the same way that the rainbow reminded Noah of God's promise, the number 222 is heaven's reminder to you. It speaks of divine order, of partnership between what is seen and unseen. 2 is the number of agreement, and 222 is a triple seal of confirmation, a whisper that heaven is in complete agreement with your current path. You have not been wandering, you have been walking inside prophecy. 222 means that the timing of heaven and the timing of your life are beginning to synchronize. The waiting was not a delay, it was preparation for precision. When you see it, it's heaven saying, stay steady, your steps are aligning with divine rhythm. This is not numerology, it is spiritual language. God has always spoken through patterns. The stars marked seasons, the rainbow sealed covenant, numbers framed creation. So when heaven begins to echo 222 around you, it's not for superstition, but for awareness. It is the Lord reminding you that what He started will not be left unfinished. 222 is a pattern of partnership, God with you, heaven with earth, spirit with purpose. It means that what once felt divided within you is now finding balance. Your faith and your patience are finally in agreement. Your purpose and your process are beginning to unite. You are no longer being pulled apart. You are being aligned. If you've been doubting your place, let this be your proof. The repetition of 222 is heaven's signature on your current chapter. It is the way the unseen world says, keep going. Do not change direction. You are on schedule. End quote. You may not understand how everything fits together yet, but you are not meant to. You are meant to trust the alignment. Sometimes, what feels like silence is simply heaven adjusting the timing so that everything meets perfectly when it's meant to. When you see 222, pause for a moment. Breathe. Thank God for the hidden work happening behind the scenes. Whisper, I am aligned. That acknowledgement is powerful. It transforms awareness into worship. Comment 222 below. Not as superstition, but as surrender. When you write those digits, you are not chasing luck. You are declaring alignment. You are saying, I see the pattern. I trust the plan. I stay in position. It becomes your digital prayer, a symbolic act of agreement between you and heaven. The moment you comment, something shifts within you. You stop doubting whether heaven still remembers you, because you realize heaven never forgot. The same God who marked Noah's sky with color is marking your days with numbers, and in this sign lies instruction. 222 also carries a warning to guard your peace. Agreement with God cannot coexist with arguments in your mind. Silence the doubts. Calm the noise. And walk in the assurance that you are being guided. Heaven will not let you miss what was written for you. If 222 keeps showing up, it means you have reached the intersection of completion and continuation, of the end of testing, the beginning of manifestation. What you prayed for is closer than it seems. The alignment is real, the timing exact. All heaven asks is that you stay in trust long enough to see it. So the next time you see it appear again on your screen, in your dream, in the small details of your day, smile, whisper, I receive it. Because that's not just a number. That's heaven's confirmation that you are moving with divine flow. 222. Ma, peace. Partnership. And proof. Heaven is showing you that you are not late. Not forgotten. Not off course. You are precisely where grace intended you to be. So, when 222 finds you again, let gratitude rise. It's heaven's gentle wink, reminding you you are aligned, protected, and perfectly positioned for promise. Distraction is the enemy's oldest weapon, yet it remains his most effective. It doesn't always appear as sin or rebellion. Most times, it comes dressed as urgency, as nuance, as something that demands your attention but steals your focus. You don't realize you're drifting until peace feels far away. This is the quiet trap being prepared for you. Chosen one. The danger of this season is not in losing faith, it's in misplacing focus. The enemy knows he cannot take your anointing, so he will try to scatter your attention. He will flood your days with unnecessary thoughts, unending notifications, and emotional turbulence that pulls you away from the stillness where you hear heaven best. He will try to convince you that rest is laziness, that silence is unproductive, that reflection is a waste of time. Yet the truth is the opposite. Your power is preserved in your ability to remain still when everything around you is loud. Heaven's wisdom echoes in the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 15. In returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength. And that is heaven's reminder for you now. The strength you are looking for will not come from doing more, but from being still enough to hear what God is already saying. Distraction thrives where stillness is absent. If the enemy can't stop your calling, he will try to exhaust you before you reach it. You've noticed it recently, small things irritating you more than usual. Sudden chaos where peace once lived. Moments of emotional fog that appear for no reason. These are not coincidences, they are strategies. The enemy knows you are close to something significant, and his last weapon is noise. But heaven is teaching you the art of focus. True warfare is not about shouting louder, it's about seeing clearly. It's the discipline of protecting your attention, of deciding what deserves your response and what does not. Because not every battle requires engagement. Some only require silence. You are learning to discern the difference between distraction and direction. One drains you, the other restores you. One pulls your gaze downward, the other lifts it upward. This is how you begin to master spiritual vision, to sense immediately when something has been sent to steal your peace. The trap of distraction often comes disguised as duty. People will need you. Tasks will pile up. You will feel guilty for pausing, as if stillness is disobedience. But remember, Jesus often withdrew from the crowd to pray. The Son of God, carrying the weight of salvation itself, still chose solitude before confrontation. If he needed stillness, how much more do you? There will be moments when the world tries to convince you that your value is measured by your visibility, that if you're not constantly producing, you're falling behind. But heaven's rhythm is slower and deeper. It's not about speed, it's about substance. You are being called to operate from overflow, not exhaustion. So, when distractions come knocking, learn to say no without guilt. Protect the silence that feeds your strength. Guard your mornings like sacred ground. Refuse to let worry be your first conversation of the day. Begin instead with gratitude, with awareness, with stillness, because in that silence, clarity grows. Your mind becomes a sanctuary again. Your emotions find balance, and in that space, you begin to hear instructions clearly, one step at a time. Heaven never rushes, because divine timing is never late. Every great calling requires the discipline of focus. The enemy will always test that discipline before your next promotion. You are not being attacked because you are failing. You are being tested because you are advancing. The closer you are to breakthrough, the louder the noise becomes. But here is the secret. The power to overcome distraction is not in resistance, it's in replacement. Fill your mind with what feeds your spirit. Replace chaos with worship, worry with meditation, scrolling with prayer. When your attention belongs to heaven, distraction loses its grip. You will soon notice that what once drained you no longer moves you. The same distractions that used to derail your peace will seem smaller, almost invisible. That's growth. That's spiritual focus taking form. You'll start responding from wisdom instead of reaction, from faith instead of fear. Chosen one. Remember, distraction is not the absence of direction, it's the attempt to distort it. But heaven has already equipped you with discernment. You will see clearly, walk calmly, and finish what you started. Keep your peace close, your focus steady, and your spirit anchored, because when the noise fades, you'll realize the silence you once resisted was actually your greatest weapon. Every battle you've faced up to now has been rehearsal. Every delay, every rejection, every closed door has been heaven's way of preparing your spirit for something that cannot be taught by comfort. What you've endured has not been wasted. It has been shaping the exact endurance required for what is about to unfold. The final test does not come to prove what you know. It comes to reveal who you've become. Heaven is not interested in your performance, but in your posture. When the pressure comes, what remains steady within you will be what heaven can build on. It is written in the letter of James, chapter 1, verse 12, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, That person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. That is what this moment represents, the proving ground between what was promised and what is prepared. The test before tomorrow is not random, it is strategic. Heaven has been observing how you respond to silence, how you endure waiting, how you forgive when no apology comes. These small, unseen victories have been shaping your qualification for the next season. You have already walked through lessons disguised as losses. People left, not because you failed, but because they were not assigned to the next stage. You learned to carry disappointment with grace, to let go without bitterness, to keep believing even when it seemed pointless. That is spiritual maturity, the ability to keep walking even when clarity is scarce. Now, as Wednesday approaches, heaven is about to reveal the purpose behind every pressure. The final rehearsal is complete. What comes next will test whether your faith is rooted in results or in relationship. Many begin with fire, but fade in fatigue. Few continue when the miracle delays. But you, chosen one, have been prepared to stand when others sit down. This test will not look dramatic. It may come as a conversation, a situation, or a choice that seems small but carries eternal weight. You will recognize it because something inside you will whisper, "This feels familiar." That is heaven reminding you that you've been here before. Only this time, you know better. It may be an opportunity that seems too easy but requires compromise. It may be a moment when you're tempted to justify what you know is wrong because no one will notice. The test is subtle, designed to reveal whether your convictions hold when convenience calls. Passing it will not require might, it will require obedience. Remember, obedience is rarely comfortable. It often looks like sacrifice in the moment, but becomes strength later. Every time you choose obedience over ease, heaven takes note. Your consistency in small things builds authority in greater things. That is how spiritual promotion works. It is measured in moments of quiet integrity. You will know you are in the test when your flesh argues and your spirit whispers peace. The two will never agree. One will push you toward reaction, the other will invite you into restraint. The victory will be found in stillness, not in struggle. Heaven is not testing you to expose weakness, but to reveal strength. Like gold refined by fire, your spirit is being purified of everything that cannot endure destiny. The same heat that melts impurities will solidify your faith. You will not come out burnt, you will come out brighter. When the final test ends, clarity will come suddenly. You'll look back and realize every confusing season was preparation for precision. Every tear watered your future. Every pause protected your promise. Chosen one. The world measures progress by speed, but heaven measures it by endurance. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation. When nothing seems to be happening, roots are growing deeper. Heaven is building foundation beneath your future. So, walk through this test with quiet confidence. Don't rush to prove yourself. Don't explain your obedience. Simply stand in truth. The test will end when heaven sees that your faith no longer depends on outcomes but on identity. By the time dawn comes after Wednesday, you will not just have survived, you will have been transformed. What once intimidated, you will no longer hold power. You will have passed from believing in promise to becoming proof of it. And that is the purpose of every final rehearsal, to make you unshakable. Heaven does not want you to merely endure. It wants you to reign. When the sun rises after the test, You will feel it, something invisible yet undeniable. The weight lifts. Peace deepens. And you realize heaven has quietly crowned your endurance with new authority. There comes a moment when every chosen one must stand at the edge of decision, the silent battlefield where the next chapter of destiny will be determined. You've been walking toward this moment for months without realizing it. Every delay, every unanswered prayer, every lesson that broke your pride has been leading here. Now, heaven watches quietly to see what you will choose. It will not come as thunder or drama. It will come softly, maybe through a conversation that tests your honesty, an opportunity that tempts your comfort, or a situation that demands forgiveness, where offense feels justified. The test is rarely about what you see, it's about what you choose. Heaven's voice calls from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19. This day I call the heavens and the earth as witnesses against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, so that you and your children may live. That is where you stand, now between blessing and curse, between faith and fear. The outcome will not be determined by luck, but by loyalty. Heaven is not impressed by noise or words. It is moved by quiet obedience. This choice will ask something of you. It will require surrender that feels uncomfortable, trust that feels unreasonable. You may have to walk away from something that once felt safe. You may have to let go of a plan you were proud of. But the whisper of heaven will remain the same. Choose me, even when it hurts. Every destiny demands a sacrifice. The question is not whether you are willing to lose, it's whether you are willing to let go. Sometimes, the hardest obedience is to release what looks good, to receive what is right. Do not fear what you might lose. Fear what you might miss by holding on. When God asks you to lay something down, it's because He intends to replace it with something greater. Your obedience will unlock what striving never could. This is not about proving yourself. It's about revealing your alignment. Heaven doesn't need perfection. It needs permission. When you say yes, even with trembling hands, heaven moves mountains to make room for your obedience. You will know the test has arrived when your spirit feels pulled in two directions. One path will look logical. The other will feel alive. One will satisfy your pride. The other will strengthen your purpose. The harder road is often the holy one. Remember, disobedience doesn't always look like sin. It often looks like hesitation. The enemy will not always tell you no. He'll simply whisper, "Not yet." But every delay you grant him becomes an open door for distraction. Heaven's timing requires immediate response, even when understanding hasn't arrived. So, when the moment comes, and your heart trembles with uncertainty, whisper the only truth that breaks hesitation. My answer is yes. No. Now, take that faith and put it into action. Comment, I will obey. No, do not rush this moment. Let the words mean something. When you write them, you are not typing to be seen. You are making a covenant. Those 3 words are not for an audience, they are for heaven's record. When you declare, I will obey, it becomes a prophetic act, a digital altar where your words are carved into eternity. Heaven reads sincerity, not punctuation. Each syllable becomes a signature that says, I choose the narrow road, no matter the cost. Oli, you may not realize it, but obedience carries fragrance. It rises before the throne like incense, silent yet powerful. Every time you say yes, angels move into position, aligning events and people to match your obedience. And though you cannot see it now, heaven's response to those 3 words will echo through your next season. Favor will follow. Peace will multiply. The confusion that once clouded your vision will lift, and you'll walk in clarity once again. This is how the chosen rise, not by noise, but by quiet surrender. The test of Wednesday will not ask for your talent, it will ask for your trust. When you respond rightly, heaven records your obedience as a victory. So breathe deeply. The choice before you is sacred. Say the words, mean them, live them. Because the moment you whisper, I will obey, every chain that held you to your past loses its power. The door opens, the light returns, and heaven smiles. Knowing you chose correctly, your I will obey becomes more than a statement. It's a sound heaven recognizes. That sound summons strength, drawing angels to guard the path your yes has opened. In obedience, peace follows like a shadow of light. Doors align, timing shifts, and suddenly, what was once distant begins to move gently toward you. There comes a sacred shaking before every new beginning. It's not sent to destroy you, but to remove what can no longer stand. Everything that was built on uncertainty, fear, or dependency will tremble now, not because you are cursed, but because you are being cleared for greater construction. Heaven is rearranging your foundation so that what's next can stand unshaken. You may feel the tremors already, relationships suddenly shifting, plans that once felt certain now cracking at the edges. The shaking isn't punishment, it's purification. The old scaffolding must fall so that the true structure can rise. The prophet Haggai recorded these words in chapter 2, verse 6. This is what the Lord says, in a little while, I will shake the heavens, the earth, the sea, and the dry land. Heaven shakes what cannot last, not to harm, but to heal. Think of a tree in strong wind. The weak branches fall, but the roots dig deeper. You are that tree. You are being strengthened, not scattered. Every trembling moment is heaven deepening your roots in truth. So when the shaking comes, don't rush to fix it. Don't panic as the old falls away. Let it. Some walls must crumble so that light can enter. You prayed for new beginnings. This is how they arrive. Before the new is built, the old must break. Still, I know it's hard. Change feels like loss when you're living it. But later, you'll see that what fell away was never meant to stay. Heaven's shaking doesn't steal. It sifts. It separates what's essential from what's extra. In these moments, faith feels fragile, but that's when it grows real. You're learning to stand on promises, not patterns. You're learning that peace isn't the absence of movement, it's the confidence that you're held even while everything moves. And as you listen now, take a breath. Feel the stillness beneath the shaking. That's the part of you heaven is anchoring. That's what will remain when the dust settles. If this message has spoken to that deep place inside you, the part that's tired but still believing, then stay connected. Tap like. Share this word. Not as routine, but as resonance. Every time you do. It's like opening a window for someone else who's still standing in the storm. You're saying, you're not alone. The shaking doesn't mean the end. Subscribe if these words have been your reminder to keep standing. Each message builds upon the last like stepping stones across a river. You don't realize how far you've come until you look back and see where faith carried you. And if at any moment your heart feels moved to give, to don it, let it be as natural as rainfall. Giving in this space isn't an obligation, it's participation. It's like adding water to the soil that once nourished you, ensuring that others can grow here too. Imagine this space as a garden. Every word you've received is a seed planted in your spirit. When you share, you scatter seeds. When you give, you water them. You help new life sprout in places that once felt barren. And in heaven's eyes, that's not transaction, it's worship. You don't give because you owe. You give because you overflow. If this message has lifted you in dark hours, think of your gift as light, returned another flame on the hill. Another hand reaching into the night for someone else. Even the smallest act carries weight in eternity. A like becomes a spark. A share becomes a signal. A seed sown becomes shelter for someone you may never meet. When you give, you extend this light beyond your own borders. Remember, heaven multiplies sincerity, not size. Whether you give prayers, words, or means, what matters most is the heart behind it. Giving becomes beautiful when it's an echo of gratitude, not a grasp for favor. So while the world shakes, keep tending this fire. Let your faith, your peace, and your support become part of something that lights others' paths. We are building together a sanctuary of words, of warmth, of awakening. When the shaking stops, what will remain is pure. What survives will shine. And every act of faith, every seed of kindness you've planted, will stand as proof that even in trembling seasons, love and obedience built something that couldn't fall. Stay steady. Chosen one. The shaking isn't the end. It's the sound of foundations being renewed. And from those trembling stones, a stronger you will rise, rooted, radiant, and ready for what heaven builds next. When the dust finally settles, you'll see it clearly. Nothing lost was needed. Nothing broken was wasted. The shaking revealed strength, and the ruins became the birthplace of renewal. When the night begins to thin and you stand between what has ended and what is about to unfold, heaven sends watchers, silent witnesses assigned to ensure that nothing formed against you succeeds. You may not see them, but their presence surrounds you like breath. Invisible yet undeniable, they have been there through every test, every tear, every prayer that felt unanswered. The psalmist proclaimed in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." End quote. That promise is not poetry, it is protocol. The watchers are not distant beings waiting for orders. They are messengers in motion, carrying out assignments spoken over your life long before you were born. Their task is not to prevent storms, but to ensure you are never consumed by them. You have felt them without realizing it, the sudden calm that comes in chaos, the peace that arrives when logic fails, the narrow escape from danger you could never explain. These are not coincidences, they are interventions. Heaven has surrounded you because your purpose carries weight in realms beyond what sight can measure. When you walk through a day feeling unseen, remember that the unseen sees you. The watchers are drawn to light, and yours burns brighter with every act of obedience. They are drawn to faith, and yours has become an anthem in the spirit. Every time you chose forgiveness over retaliation, they took note. Every time you prayed when you wanted to quit, they fortified the space around you. Angels do not applaud, they guard. They do not speak often because their work is silent. Steady, eternal. Their movements are woven into divine timing. When danger approaches, they shift it. When delay threatens, they redirect it. When despair whispers, they remind your soul of promises you've forgotten. The unseen world is not far. It is layered just beyond perception. And in that space, your name carries authority. The watchers respond to the voice of faith, not fear. When you speak truth, they move. When you worship, they strengthen the atmosphere. When you rest in trust, they rest their swords. There are moments you may feel alone, especially after long battles. But isolation is an illusion. The room may seem empty, yet heaven is crowded with guardians assigned to your destiny. They do not hover out of pity. They stand in reverence to your endurance. To them, your perseverance is light. Chosen one, you are never without defense. Even in the silence of your hardest nights, your faith has formed a wall of fire around you. It's why certain attacks never reached you. Why unseen dangers dissolved before they arrived. Heaven's watchers intervened, redirecting arrows meant to pierce your peace. Sometimes, heaven hides protection inside. Disruption, the plan that didn't work, the meeting that was cancelled, the delay that frustrated you, all may have been the hands of angels rearranging timelines. What you call inconvenience may have been interception. What you call rejection may have been redirection from disaster. There is a wisdom in this divine surveillance. The watchers do not interfere with free will, but they bend circumstances to favor destiny. They are sent to ensure that what God began in you is not derailed by what surrounds you. You may not see their faces, but you can sense their nearness in the moments peace comes without reason. They stand guard, not because you are fragile, but because you are essential. Heaven protects what it invests in. Walk with awareness, not fear. Every space you enter is already secured. Every battle you face is already flanked by unseen strength. The watchers are not leaving. When the storm clears, they stay for the sunrise, ensuring you step into the next chapter unshaken. And when you finally rest, when the day feels heavy and your prayers feel few, know that they do not sleep. The same angels who guarded you in the valley now accompany you on the climb. You are watched, not to be controlled, but to be covered. You are protected, not because you asked, but because you are chosen. When morning comes, they will still be near, silent as breath, steady as light. Their presence doesn't fade. It travels with you into every new beginning. You won't always feel wings, only peace. That calm is their language, their assurance that heaven's eye never blinks, never turns away from you. So walk boldly now. The unseen marches beside you. Every step you take echoes through eternity, guarded, guided, and recorded in heaven's endless memory. There are moments when heaven confirms your progress not through words, but through symbols, those quiet patterns that repeat until you finally recognize them. You begin to see a certain number, hear a familiar phrase, feel a nudge that says, "Look again." This is not coincidence, it's conversation. Heaven is marking your journey, reminding you that the test was not in vain. You have walked through darkness, endured silence, faced temptation, and now signs begin to follow. They don't chase those who doubt, they follow those who obey. Heaven rewards awareness. When your eyes stay open, patterns appear, as spoken through the Apostle Paul in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 31. If God is for us, who can be against us? This is the foundation of your new confidence. The season of fear has ended. The repeating number that follows you now is not random. It is heaven's signal that you have shifted into favor. The patterns that once confused you are becoming confirmations. You are no longer praying for evidence. You are living inside it. For many of the chosen ones, the number 555 has been appearing lately. You've seen it on clocks, receipts, addresses, even in dreams. You dismissed it at first, but it kept returning. That's because heaven never speaks once. It repeats until you listen. 555 is not superstition, it is synchronization. It carries the message of grace multiplied, of change completed, of heaven's alignment with your steps. 3 5s woven together form a covenant of transition, your sign that something divine has reached its fullness and a new chapter has begun. You are not standing at the edge of loss anymore. You are standing at the threshold of becoming. Everything that was removed made room for what is arriving. Heaven has balanced the scales and declared, "It is enough." Olek, you have wondered why doors began to close, why some people disappeared, why plans suddenly shifted. Now you know. 555 main divine redirection. It means what once felt delayed was actually protection. The path had to narrow so that purpose could stay pure. Heaven often hides new beginnings inside endings. The number 555 appears to those who are about to outgrow their old environment. You no longer fit where you once flourished, because growth has changed your shape. That's not rejection, it's realignment. So, when you see 555 again, do not fear it. Smile and whisper, "I am ready," because that's exactly what it means, readiness. It's heaven's way of telling you the waiting season has served its purpose. This number also carries a hidden instruction: release. Let go of what tries to follow you backward. When old patterns reappear, do not argue with them, outgrow them. You've been anointed for forward movement, and heaven will not allow you to stay where growth has ceased. The test before Wednesday has purified your faith. Now heaven is marking your promotion. The light you carry has intensified, and creation itself responds to it. Even numbers, moments, and coincidences align because your spirit is in rhythm with divine order. Now, take a quiet moment and comment 555 below. Not as superstition, not for attention, but as agreement. When you type it, you declare, "I recognize the sign. I receive the alignment. I walk in divine timing." The Mass. Heaven reads obedience in many forms, even in this. Every act of acknowledgement becomes a seal. When you write those numbers, you're echoing heaven's rhythm with your own hands. 555 is also the number of movement. It means things will now accelerate. What was stuck will start to shift. What was unclear will become visible. It does not mean chaos, it means completion. The wilderness has ended, the promised land awaits. So, as you continue forward. Walk with courage. Every time 555 appears again, let it remind you, you're not behind. You're right on time. The universe isn't mocking you, it's mirroring heaven's timing through creation itself. When you align with divine rhythm, even time begins to serve you. Delays reverse. Doors open without striving, and peace flows where pressure once lived. The number isn't the power, it's the pointer. It points to grace, to motion, to arrival. Chosen one, you have reached the season where heaven trusts you with speed. Do not fear how fast things change. You were built for momentum. The same God who led you through the valley now propels you toward visibility. And every time you see 555, remember, it's not just a sign, it's a celebration. Heaven has recorded your endurance. The test has been graded. The promotion has been approved. All that's left is to move with the flow of favor. The number is not luck, it's a language of love written in repetition. And as you walk forward, let peace be your proof. Everything that aligns with your purpose will stay. Everything that resists will fade. You are no longer chasing signs, they now chase you. 555 is heaven's whisper. You have passed. Proceed. End of The crown you have been waiting for does not appear suddenly. It forms slowly, invisibly. In the quiet weight of obedience, heaven measures kingship not by how loudly you speak, but by how faithfully you submit. The path toward the crown is narrow and often paved with surrender. It is not given to the proud, but to those who learn to bow when no one was watching. You've been walking this path for a long time. Every season of waiting, every hour of endurance, every moment when you wanted to give up, but didn't, all of it has been the invisible forge of your coronation. While you looked at your hands and saw nothing, heaven looked and saw gold being refined. The pain that once humiliated you has become your qualification. The Apostle Peter testified in his first letter, chapter 5, verse 10, "And the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm and steadfast." Oh, that is the promise you are now walking into. Restoration is not a reversal of pain, it is the transformation of it. Heaven does not erase what you've endured, it repurposes it. Every scar becomes proof of survival. Every tear becomes oil for anointing. You have not merely survived suffering, you have been shaped by it. The crown of obedience rests not on the head of the powerful, but on the head of the faithful. It is made of unseen victories, the quiet ones, the ones no one clapped for, the ones that cost you tears. The crown you receive will not glitter like earthly jewelry, it will glow with peace. It is woven from the same light that shone through your wounds. Think back on the moments that nearly broke you, the betrayals, the misunderstandings, the times you tried to explain yourself, but heaven told you to stay silent. Those moments were chiseling the shape of your crown. Every time you chose to forgive, a new gem was added. Every time you held your tongue, the gold was refined. Every time you stayed faithful when no one saw, heaven took measurements for your coronation. This is why the chosen are often misunderstood. The process looks like punishment to those who don't understand preparation. People may have said, "You're losing everything," but heaven was saying, "You're shedding what can't go where I'm taking you." The crown you're being fitted for cannot sit on a distracted head. It requires the clarity of surrender. The moment of crowning does not come with fanfare. It comes with stillness. You'll know it has happened when you feel peace where pain used to live. The ache will lift, not because everything has changed around you, but because something has changed within you. The war will end, not through victory over others, but through mastery of yourself. You will sense it first, like warmth settling over your mind, like a weight being replaced by rest. The crown of obedience does not make you proud, it makes you gentle. Those who wear it do not boast, they bless. They understand that authority without humility is empty. Your journey has never been about arrival, it has always been about becoming. The waiting trained your patience, the loss built your empathy, the silence sharpened your discernment. Now, heaven entrusts you with something greater, influence born from integrity. But remember, these crowns are not worn for decoration. They are worn for responsibility. Heaven crowns you so that you can carry glory correctly. The weight of this crown is love. It requires a heart soft enough to forgive, strong enough to lead, and humble enough to keep listening. The crown of obedience also carries memory. It holds the echoes of every prayer you prayed through tears. Every night you wrestled and stayed faithful. When you wear it, you carry testimony. Others will look at you and not see what you've survived, but heaven will never forget. Chosen one, lift your head. You have not been waiting in vain. The promise is not postponed, it is maturing. The time has come for you to walk as one who has been tested, refined, and approved. Let your humility be your scepter, your peace, your robe, and your obedience, your crown. And as you move forward, do not fear the weight you feel upon your spirit. It is not heaviness, it is holiness. The presence you now carry is proof that you endured the refining fire and came out radiant. You are not merely wearing a crown, you have become one, a living emblem of victory through surrender. After every storm, there comes a strange stillness, the kind that feels both peaceful and unnerving at once. It is not silence from absence, but silence from completion. Heaven often grows quiet after a battle, not because it has withdrawn, but because it has finished speaking. The instruction has been given, the test has been passed, and now the echo fades so that revelation can settle. You are standing in that silence now. The chaos that once filled your mind is gone, replaced by an unfamiliar calm. It may almost feel empty at first, like walking into a house after the guests have left. But this quiet is sacred. It is the sound of heaven resting. What was meant to destroy you has been defeated. The storm served its purpose, and now all that remains is peace. We hear the timeless whisper in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10, "Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." And that verse is not a suggestion, it's an invitation. To be still is not to do nothing. It is to recognize that nothing more needs to be done. Heaven has already arranged what you were worried about. The silence after obedience is where trust becomes tangible. When you've spent so long fighting, silence can feel unnatural. You're used to responding, defending, proving, striving. But this new chapter requires none of that. You've already proven your faith. Now, your task is to rest in what has been accomplished. Heaven is not testing you anymore. It is teaching you how to dwell in peace. There is a deep kind of maturity that comes after the noise stops. You start to see that many of your past prayers were answered. not with explanations, but with peace. Heaven rarely shouts the conclusion, it simply withdraws the tension. The very absence of battle is the evidence of victory. In this stillness, new understanding begins to rise. You start to see why certain things didn't work out, why some doors closed, why certain people couldn't continue with you. The silence becomes revelation. Heaven allows you to look back without bitterness, to trace the fingerprints of divine order across what once looked like chaos. Do not mistake quiet for emptiness. The quiet is full of presence. It is in this silence that heaven whispers destiny, not direction. You already know the next step. Now you are learning the posture to carry it. The silence teaches you how to hear beyond noise, how to sense movement in stillness. In the absence of noise, faith deepens. When there are no more signs, no more storms, no more shaking, what remains is the pure relationship between you and the one who called you. No validation, no applause, no urgency, just connection. This is where you learn to love God, not for the rescue, but for the relationship. Many fear the silence because it exposes what's inside. But for the chosen, it becomes home. The stillness reveals the strength you didn't know you had. You realize that peace is not the reward of survival, it's the transformation of it. You are no longer reacting to life, you are responding to heaven. You move slower now, but stronger. You speak less, but with greater weight. That is what silence does. It refines language. It sharpens discernment. You no longer rush to fill gaps with words. You fill them with awareness. The silence before sunrise is the most powerful moment in creation. It is when light prepares to break. Unseen, but inevitable. That's where you are standing right now, on the edge of dawn. Heaven is not ignoring you. It's preparing to reveal what the new light will look like. So, do not rush this peace. Don't try to fill it. Sit inside it. Let it breathe through you. The same God who spoke in thunder now speaks in stillness. You have moved from warfare to worship, from striving to resting, from confusion to clarity. When the first light of dawn finally spills across your life, you'll realize this. Silence wasn't the absence of God. It was the arrival of His presence in its purest form. The silence after battle is sacred. It heals without words. Heaven breathes through stillness, mending what war tore apart. You awaken lighter, realizing peace was God's quiet answer all along. In stillness, revelation unfolds like morning light, gentle, gradual, unstoppable. You see purpose in every delay, mercy in every detour, and grace woven through every goodbye. Then comes understanding. You were never abandoned, only refined. The silence didn't mean absence, it meant completion. Heaven was never far, it was simply teaching you how to hear differently. Endurance is not just surviving the storm, it is walking out of it with your light still burning. You've endured more than most will ever understand. Yet here you are, still standing, still glowing, still believing. Heaven watched every step, every tremble, every tear, and has marked this moment as the sealing of your endurance. The trials you faced were never meant to crush you. They were meant to reveal that nothing could. Endurance is heaven's signature upon those who refuse to let darkness dictate their direction. It is the quiet evidence that what God placed within you cannot be extinguished. The Apostle to the Hebrews reminds us in chapter 10, verse 36, you need to persevere, so that when you've done, the will of God. You will receive what He has promised. You have done the will of God through storms, through silence, through seasons of doubt. Now heaven begins to unveil the promise, the inner peace that cannot be shaken, the authority that doesn't demand attention, the grace that flows without effort. Endurance doesn't look glamorous. It looks like praying when no answer comes. It looks like showing up when your heart feels empty. It looks like loving people who misunderstood you. But endurance builds a foundation stronger than applause. It carves strength into the soul, invisible but indestructible. Now, heaven is ready to pour fresh oil over your endurance. You will not just survive, you will overflow. Every ounce of pain that pressed you will now release purpose. Every dark night will feed the brilliance of your morning. If this message resonates in the quiet corners of your spirit, pause for a moment, breathe, and let gratitude rise like incense. And if it speaks deeply, leave a comment below. Just a few heartfelt words, a trace of your presence. Think of it as leaving a footprint in the sand of this sanctuary, a silent echo that tells heaven, I was here, and I still believe, because this endurance, this survival, is holy. It means your story didn't end where it tried to. And if these words have touched your heart, share them like you'd share fire in the cold, freely, gently, knowingly. Every share becomes a lantern passed to someone walking through their own darkness, reminding them that light still exists. Tap like, not for numbers, but as an offering of recognition, your quiet way of saying, I am still here, still standing. Your simple gesture becomes a ripple of connection in a world that desperately needs reminders of endurance. Subscribe if you wish to keep walking this path together. Think of each message not as content, but as a letter carried by the wind, a voice that meets you in time, reminding you of heaven's rhythm when your own heartbeat falters. And if your spirit ever feels led to donate or give, let it not be from pressure, but from poetry. Giving here is not transaction, it's continuation. Every seed you sow becomes another branch on this tree of light, growing shade for souls who are still weary. Think of your offering as a cup of water poured at the roots of something that once refreshed you. The tree doesn't beg for water, it simply opens to receive. The act is mutual. You nourish what nourished you, and heaven turns it into rain that falls somewhere else, on someone else. At the perfect time, there is beauty in supporting what uplifts you. It is the art of reciprocity, the circle of light. Your kindness keeps this message breathing, moving, finding hearts that need it most. Every like is a spark. Every share is a bridge. Every gift is a whisper to heaven saying, let this light keep burning. If you have nothing to give but prayer, your prayer is more powerful than you know. It's the invisible wind that carries every word farther. In heaven's economy, nothing offered from love is ever lost. So, as this chapter of endurance closes, know this: you are part of a living mosaic of souls who refuse to let darkness define their story. Together, we keep the flame alive, one act of faith at a time. The night is behind you. The morning is yours. Keep your flame burning, and let your endurance shine so brightly that others find their way by its light. Your endurance has become a song. Only heaven understands, a melody born from tears, tuned by faith. Every note declares, you endured, you trusted, You overcame, and now you shine. Let this be your legacy, that in every dark night, your light remained. Through you, others will remember hope does not vanish, it multiplies through faithful hearts. There is a moment, subtle yet infinite, when darkness begins to break. You don't see it at first. You feel it, the faint stirring of air, the gentle warmth brushing your spirit before dawn fully arrives. After everything, after the shaking, the silence, and the test, light begins to rise again. Not the blinding light of sudden change, but the quiet glow of divine fulfillment. You have walked through the longest night of your life, and now heaven unveils its promise. The things that once frightened you have lost their voice. The shadows that once loomed over your faith now retreat because they cannot coexist with the light you've become. Heaven's promise resounds in the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 12. I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. That promise is alive in you now. You have followed. You have believed. And now you begin to see. This light is not external. It does not descend upon you. It awakens within you. It moves gently through your words, your presence, your stillness. You have become a mirror for heaven, reflecting what once only visited you. Wednesday's test has ended, and the new day stands before you. Heaven did not remove the darkness, it taught you how to shine through it. You no longer beg for light, because you are light. The divine has taken root in your endurance, and now it radiates outward, guiding others who still walk in shadows. There is a sacred quietness to new beginnings. After the storm, there is no trumpet, no applause, only the slow blooming of peace. The trees do not shout. When morning comes, they simply turn their faces toward the sun. You, too, must now turn toward what is rising. You may not feel powerful yet, but that is how all dawns begin. Soft, unsure, but unstoppable. The same God who whispered to you in the night now walks beside you in daylight. You will see signs of renewal everywhere, in your energy, in your perspective, in the way. Hope breathes differently in you now. The past no longer defines you, it refines you. Every mistake that once shamed you now becomes a story of mercy. Every scar that once ached now becomes a window for glory. You have not lost time, you have gained clarity. The world around you may look the same, but your sight has changed. What once felt chaotic now feels orchestrated. You realize that heaven never left, it simply worked in silence. Every delay was a lesson. Every pain was an invitation to grow roots instead of wings. Now, when the light touches those roots, they bloom. This is the awakening of the new day, not loud, not hurried, but holy. The kind of light that stays, the kind that heals, the kind that speaks without words. You will notice how your responses soften, how peace replaces panic, how faith feels natural again. The dawn is also an unveiling. You will begin to see the purpose behind every person who entered or exited your story. You will thank God even for what confused you, because now you understand it was all choreography, not chaos. The divine has written your story with precision, and this new light reveals the pattern. Chosen one. Breathe deeply. This is the air of new beginnings. You are no longer fighting for survival. You are living from revelation. You've crossed from being tested to being trusted. The same hands that refined you are now ready to release you. Heaven calls your name differently now, not as a student, but as a vessel. The season of proving has passed. Now begins the season of purpose. The light in you will attract what belongs to you and gently remove what does not. You no longer need to chase, you only need to carry. And as you walk into this new day, remember, light does not struggle with darkness, it simply appears, and darkness retreats. That is your new reality. Wherever you go, atmospheres will shift, peace will follow, hope will be reignited in hearts simply because you stood where others fell. The awakening is here, the light has risen, and you, chosen one, have become what you once prayed for, a living testimony that even the darkest nights must eventually bow to the dawn. The light within you now carries its own language, calm, unhurried, eternal. It doesn't need to announce itself, it simply shines, healing quietly everything it touches. Walk gently in this new dawn. Every step leaves traces of hope behind you. Wherever your shadow falls, someone else will find their reason to rise again. There is a stillness that comes after victory, not the silence of emptiness, but the quiet hum of fulfillment. Heaven has finished its refining work in you. The tests, the storms, the moments of uncertainty have all served their purpose. You stand now at the summit of what once felt impossible. You are no longer waiting for the promise, you are walking in it. As foretold in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 21, to the one who is victorious, I will give the right to sit with me on my throne, just as I was victorious and sat down with my Father on his throne, and say, that is the inheritance of the faithful, to sit, not to strive, to rest, not to wrestle, to reign, not through dominance, but through peace. You have entered a new order of living, where striving gives way to surrender, and where presence becomes power. The journey you walked was never about proving your strength, it was about revealing your identity. You were never a wanderer trying to earn favor. You were royalty, learning how to walk in it. Heaven didn't just call you chosen, it crowned you with understanding, with discernment, with light that cannot be dimmed. Now, as you stand clothed in spiritual armor, you can look back without pain. Every scar has turned into testimony. The betrayals that once broke you now serve as markers of growth. You can bless even what hurt you, because it all worked together to bring you here. The test has ended, the transformation remains. You have become what the storm could not destroy. There is a dignity in your spirit now, a quiet authority born from endurance. You no longer seek validation because you've seen what heaven says about you. The crown you wear is invisible to the world, but undeniable in the spirit. And yet, this coronation is not the end. It is the beginning of responsibility. Heaven crowns the faithful, not so they may boast, but so they may serve. The authority you carry is not for control, but for compassion. Those who sit upon spiritual thrones are not above others, they lift others higher. You will find that peace itself is now your weapon. You will no longer fight as before. Your words will heal. Your silence will correct. Your presence will calm storms before they form. The crown does not shout, it shines. And that is how heaven rules through light, not through noise. This new chapter of your life will not be defined by striving, but by stewardship. Heaven will entrust you with influence, with opportunity, with people who look to you for direction. Remember the lessons of the valley, the humility of hidden seasons. Do not rush to move ahead. Let wisdom lead. The same stillness that sustained you in the storm will sustain you in the throne room. You will begin to notice divine timing, weaving through everything. Doors will open easily now, because you no longer push them, you wait for them. What once required battle now happens through grace. Where once you cried for help, you now whisper thanksgiving. The transition from war to worship has already happened within you. You are the coronation of the faithful, the living evidence that surrender is stronger than struggle. Heaven celebrates not with noise, but with recognition. The angels do not sing because you succeeded, they sing because you understood. And now, as the story comes full circle, the crown upon your spirit begins to glow. It's not made of gold or jewels, but of everything you've survived. Every time you chose love over bitterness, a gem was placed. Every time you forgave, a stone was polished. Every time you trusted, another piece was set. The crown you carry is living memory woven from faith itself. You have passed through the fire, and instead of ashes, you wear radiance. You have walked through storms and learned to dance in the rain. You have waited through silence and learned to hear the heartbeat of God. That is what it means to be chosen to live, not by sight, but by surrender. And though the journey continues, this moment stands as a monument, the end of testing, the birth of purpose. You no longer chase after destiny. Destiny now flows from you. The one who once begged for direction has become the one who carries guidance for others. You are no longer searching for light. You are the torchbearer. The heavens smile quietly. The earth breathes in relief. The story of your endurance becomes the story of someone else's hope. The crown you wear is not decoration, it's declaration. That grace truly is sufficient, and that those who trust never fall in vain. The battle is over. The silence remains. The crown gleams, and you, God's chosen one, rise from the dust, radiant with the same glory that once only visited you. Now, it lives within you. You've reached the end of this journey, but not the end of your becoming. What you've walked through is not merely a message, it is a mirror, reflecting the light heaven has always seen in you. You were not listening by chance, something eternal drew you here. If what you heard stirred something inside, pause for a moment, breathe, and let gratitude rise. Gratitude transforms revelation into reality. And when your heart overflows, leave a comment, a few words. Aquí et hecho. Think of it as carving your initials in eternity. A way of saying, I heard, I received, I am ready. Share this word as you'd pass a candle through the dark. Each share becomes a spark traveling across unseen distances, finding another heart, still searching for light. Tap like, not out of routine, but as your gentle amen, your way of saying, this truth touched me. Even a small spark can ignite something far beyond your screen. Subscribe if your spirit feels at home here. Picture each new message as another step along a path lit just for you, a trail of words leading deeper into peace, clarity, and purpose. And if you ever feel moved to donate or give, let it be as effortless as breathing, as natural as letting a river flow. Giving here isn't obligation, it's continuation. It's pouring water back into the spring that refreshed you so others may drink. So hope may flow farther. Every like is a whisper of faith. Every share is a bridge of light. Every comment is a footprint of belief. Every gift is a drop of mercy returning to the sea. You have listened, endured, and awakened. Now rise, live, and shine, because the world still needs the light you found here.